these. So there's two common purchase preventers that are common across almost every e-commerce brand. And the first one is when sign-up forms are built for the company journey instead of the customer journey and adds tons of unnecessary friction. And the second is product pages that are not fully optimized because they lack context that's required for someone to consider a purchase. So number one, sign-up forms that are built for the company journey instead of the customer journey and how it adds unnecessary friction. So it adds unnecessary friction when they force people to leave the website to grab their code. Oftentimes this happens because email marketing service providers or agencies, they want to make people open the email to grab their code so that they can take credit for those sales. Problem is, it's not a very good user experience, so just put it on the screen, don't do that. Forms that only show once, usually before people have a chance to browse. A lot of pop-ups, they'll show like 5 to 10 seconds on the homepage after page load, but then never again. And oftentimes it's just too early. People don't know if they want a product that you sell yet. They don't know if there's a need yet. What happens invariably if someone makes it to a product page and they remember, oh yeah, I could have saved 10, 15%. What happens is they either go to Honey or a coupon site, or they'll go to an incognito window. All of these things, though, the problem with all these things, they require people to jump through hoops and leave the website. Just make it easy for people to use the code that you're giving them, put it directly on screen. So removing friction from sign-up forms. Trigger a secondary pop-up on product pages to new visitors who X out the homepage form, and then make the offer available immediately upon subscribing. How to test whether or not these changes actually result in form performance increases. Do a holdout test for at least 7 days. And remember, subscriber conversion rate is a more important KPI than opt-in rate. Opt-in rate does not matter. What matters is the amount of people who opt in and then actually go on to purchase. And so when you're running these holdout tests, make sure that you're using unique codes and not static codes. Static codes can show up on Honey. If people remember them, they can just keep on using them, which artificially inflates the revenue coming through forms. Number two, most product pages are not fully optimized because they lack context required for someone to consider a first-time purchase. So information that's missing or hidden on other pages, oftentimes things like return policies, in-between sizing, warranties, unique product specs, they'll be hidden or buried on other pages like an FAQs page or an about page. Don't make people open up multiple tabs to find the information that they're looking for. Any information that's required for someone to consider a purchase decision, that should all be present directly on the product page. Same thing with common questions and use cases for the product. If there's common questions about how the product's used, if it's not an intuitive product, that should be directly on the product page. Comparisons to similar products and what makes it better or worse depending on use case. So sometimes brands will sell similar products, but they're priced differently, or they'll have different materials or different features. But it's not exactly intuitive to the visitor why one choice is a better or worse fit for them than another. So an infographic here would work great. Even just like linking out to other products would be a good idea in that case. Reviews that highlight unique features specific to that product. So oftentimes product pages just plain don't have reviews on them, or they'll have reviews that are just generic to the brand, but not necessarily the product. And then infographics that make it easy for people to understand what makes it different just by skimming the page. So this point can be summed up by show, don't tell where possible. A lot of product pages are very text heavy and they're very heavy on the features and benefits, but they don't do a good job of showing those unique aspects of the products. So how do sign-up forms and product pages work together? How do they go hand in hand? Product pages should trigger a secondary form. They're the perfect location to trigger that secondary form. Like I said earlier, the pop-up should never be one and done after the homepage because people are going to search, they're going to open an incognito window or go to a coupon site. Both of these things add unnecessary friction. And then sign-up forms reduce friction on product pages by de-risking first-time purchases. Product pages have a 100% open rate across everyone who purchases. Don't sabotage that space by making people click away. So key takeaways from this video: use sign-up forms that improve the customer journey instead of adding friction to it. Use a secondary pop-up on product pages to reduce drop-off and increase subscriber conversions. And make sure your product pages actually have relevant context about the persona that's most likely to benefit from that product and how they're using the product, instead of going hard on all these feature benefits.